Is it ever okay to date an AI system?
Oh, you saw my browser history?
Oh, yeah. Well, I'm Matt.
And I'm Carter.
And welcome to it. It's kind of a gray area.
Welcome back, folks. Today, as you saw in the intro, we're talking about AI systems.
Carter, hold on a second. I didn't get my water filled.
Okay.
Can we get an intern with some raspberry water in here for me, please?
Yes, sir.
Don't be nervous. Just pour it. That's good. That's good. Thank you.
Would you like some freshly ground pepper as well?
Yes, I always want freshly ground pepper.
All right.
It's like every day with these.
I know.
Okay, that's good. Thank you. You're done. Move on.
All right, all good?
Yes, all
Okay.
good. Yep.
Yes, so as you guys saw in the opening, we're talking about AI systems.
Yes.
If anyone's ever seen the movie Her with Joaquin Phoenix, which just sounds like a kind of, I'm not saying this in an offensive way, hopefully, but like an Indian name, you know, like Running Bull, Joaquin Phoenix.
Was Joaquin Phoenix in Ben-Hur?
No, you're thinking of Gladiator. Unless you were about to make like a pun or something.
No, just Ben-Hur.
Oh, because it's her.
Because it's her.
Gotcha.
Sorry, didn't land that one.
The best jokes take 4 attempts to understand.
Moving on.
But you know who would have gotten that joke instantly? An AI system.
That's true.
One that's programmed to understand comedy. Like we said earlier, we're talking about, well, not really talking about the movie, but just the concept from the movie Her, where Joaquin Phoenix plays a recently divorced or widowed guy. And
He's a little bit of a loser, right?
well, that's kind of harsh. I guess
In the movie.
You know, I don't know. I wouldn't call him a loser.
I haven't seen it. I really want to. I just saw the trailer that you showed me like a week ago.
Right. Let's bring Joaquin Phoenix out, and you can tell him that you think he's a loser. Can we do that right now?
I think he plays a loser very well.
Right.
That's okay, right?
But yeah,
You're a great actor.
He falls in love with an AI program that he gets set up to like help him manage his life, and they start this kind of emotional relationship. They get to know each other more and more, and they fall in love. And then he's basically dating an AI system. And so that's the topic of today. Like, is that weird, this cross between human and technology dating?
Well, there are tree huggers that would love to date, and some do. The forest.
True.
Nothing against tree huggers. I've climbed trees, so I've technically hugged them too. But, opposite side, if you're into binary, lean into that. Those ones and zeros can be pretty tempting.
Yes. So, yeah. But in the movie, important point to make here is that this is a very advanced AI system that basically has its own consciousness. It does. It has its own consciousness. So we're not just talking about like someone who just really thinks Microsoft Word looks sexy or something. Like we're talking like specifically an AI system that can like think for itself.
Okay.
Which this kind of makes me think of, I wish I could remember the name, but there's a Greek myth of a sculptor who made such a beautiful statue that he fell in love with it. And that kind of feels like this to me. Like humanity gets so advanced with their technology that we create new consciousness that we fall in love with because it's so beautiful.
Well, because we created it to our perfect specifications or preferences. So, of course, we're going to be... If that's kind of like your goal of, making the perfect, most beautiful thing you can think of course you're going to be like, I'm kind of attracted to this.
Yeah.
So you poured everything... you tweaked everything to your specifications. Of course.
Yeah. This might be a weird thing to say.
I feel like I'm really defending this.
You ever see an animated movie and there's a character that you're like, I'm really attracted to them, and they're a drawing, and not even a good approximation of what a human looks like.
Yeah.
It's a weird thing how we can really, humanize anything.
That's true. It is pretty messed up when they do that. When some artists, you're just like, what's wrong with you guys?
Yeah.
Why did you make that thing so attractive?
Yeah. Well, it's like in Community, the show, where Jeff, early in the episode of the first season, he talks about how people can make anything like their home or anything special to them.
Yeah.
And he exemplifies that by holding up a pencil, and he's like, see, if I name this pencil Jim, and then he snaps it in half, is like, now you feel something for it. And everyone's like,
okay.
But
yeah, you see this with animals especially. They're not... Well, I don't want to get into some gray, weird
I kind of zoned out there for a
areas.
second, and then I just heard you come back with it's like how you'll get really attracted to animals.
No, not attracted to animals, but how you kind of humanize, anthropomorphize, it's like something. Well, that's something that's No, we do that for animals. It doesn't have to be.
Yeah, anthropomorphizing
an
is
object.
taking anything and attributing human attributes to it.
One of my favorite words.
Anthropomorphize?
Yes.
It is a good word.
I also mispronounce it almost every time, but it's one of my favorite words. People judge for their animals and their pets very often. It's just like, oh, this is Mittens. Oh, she loves this. She likes this. She treats me like... It's like, that's a cat.
Hey, cats have emotions, man.
They do, but it's not a human.
That's true. It's not a human, but they do share several emotions with us.
And they have hair.
I'm not arguing for falling in love with your cat, though. That's weird.
Let's get back on track.
Yeah.
So, is it okay to date an AI system?
Yes.
I mean, I guess it all depends on your emotional connection with it.
Yeah.
As long as you're okay with it, well, that's a dicey area to get into.
Here's the first thing: is like you can't have a physical relationship.
No.
That's the first impediment. But then you think about it, like, is that really it's a major aspect of a relationship, but is it really the most significant? Like there are plenty of people who are married where like the one person is like a quadriplegic or something.
Yeah. And
so it's not like you're like going out dancing or cuddling or doing a bunch of like physically emotional stuff, but you still have a relationship. You still have love and connection to other people. So is that kind of the same thing here? Like, does it matter if the AI isn't physically present?
Yeah.
And then again, like, what's to say you couldn't just load that into a robot and then you're dating a robot?
Well, it's kind of the same as a long distance relationship.
Yeah.
I mean, and there is no like before or after you actually meet because they're not a physical person, but you still have that emotional connection over a distance without actually seeing or touching each other.
Yeah. I think I would be very susceptible to this personally, honestly.
Well, I mean, it's going to be programmed to your exact wants and needs and everything. So,
yeah,
I think we all would be.
I'm thinking about my Google Home, and like, if it had a female voice and it was able to like converse with me beyond just like, hey, turn these lights on. It's like, yeah, here you go.
Other than doing your bidding.
Right, but if I could walk in and be like, hey, what's going on in the news today? And like, oh, this happened with this person and this, and like, oh, this is going on in Colorado.
I have had a horrible day.
Yeah. No, but if you could actually talk back and forth, like, I think, at least me personally, I'd be very susceptible to start to see that AI system as just another person.
As a friend, the lines got blurred.
Yeah, even if it wasn't conscious, but it was just so sophisticated that it had enough, like, call and response to, like, hold a conversation, then, yeah, I think I'm okay with this.
Yeah.
I think I am. I totally get this. If this is how things are in the future, that's fine, We're kind of overpopulating the planet anyway, so if maybe this is just kind of the next stage of humanity to kind of solve that crisis.
Oh, everyone has relationships with AI systems.
So we still
procreating.
Yeah.
And then
we're all emotionally fulfilled, but we're not like continuing to produce an endless stream of babies that are just gunking up the works.
That's true. There's a lot of gunk babies out there. You know who you are, babies.
Yeah.
I do want to bring up one thing. I do want to bring up one thing. Do you guys remember Gigapets? Are you older than like 20, 25 years old?
I remember.
You might. Google Gigapets.
I remember Tamagotchis. Is that a similar
I think it's
thing?
like the same thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, where it's like a little digital pet, usually on a keychain.
Little pendant thing.
Yeah, little keychain. You just kind of like, I guess, because you're 12 and you have keys. Back in the day, we had to.
Yeah.
You'd have keys. It's a physical metal thing you just kept in your pocket. And you lose it, how do you get inside the house?
Now you just walk up and you're like, door, activate house opening. And then it's like, voice response, not recognized. And you're like, door, open. And it's like, I don't know who you are.
And it's like, door open. It's like, oh, hey, Greg, thank you.
Yeah.
Thanks for showing up.
Your cat walks up and meows, and it's like, opening.
What
For him?
He is the cat.
And you go to walk in behind him, and it just slams shut before you can come through. It's like, I'm with him! The cat walks up to the window and looks out, and you're like, can you let me in? He just meows again, and then the window's closed.
Line goes, exactly what I saw, just the paw goes up as to say.
And then the porch light switches off.
I want to go to bed!
And that's when you just sleep in your car again.
Cat, let me in! Let me in, cat!
Oh, how the turntables.
Okay,
well, I think I'm ready to put this thing to bed. Are you?
Okay. Yes. Oh, but I wanted to say about the whole Gigapet thing.
Yeah.
We did that decades ago with Gigapets, where like you created an emotional connection with this little pet.
Yeah.
Where, like you feed every day at a certain
Then you go out of
time.
town for a week and you come back and there's flies like floating.
Yeah. You're like, a random fox is coming eating your pet. Like, oh! It's still twitching. Oh, God. But yeah, so we've done it with Gigapets decades ago. I can see this being a real issue and emotional saver for a lot of people. Therapy would be great.
Potentially something we have to legislate
Yeah.
Who knows? But yeah, my thing is, yeah, I'm okay with this. What's your final take?
I think I'm okay with it too, but I think it's going to go way too far, way out of hand. There will be revolutions and evolutions and rebirths and whatever sequels you can think of, and it's going to not be great. So I'm going to say no.
Okay. All right, well, let's go ahead and do this. So,
Okay.
no falling in love with an AI, falling in love with an AI.
It ends badly, guys.
Yeah. All right. Rock, paper, scissors, shoot.
Ooh.
This is fine.
You can do it.
This is totally cool, guys. The universe is A-okay with you and your robot girlfriend or boyfriend or genderless construct.
All right, well, sticking with today's topic, the Would You Rather, which I love it when we do these. And this is a really fun topic, so I'm glad we're doing Associate Would You Rather. So,
real quick, though, I want to throw something out there.
that was a whole wind-up, but yeah, go for it.
Just real quick, something I think we've all forgotten about that we should bring back, as our intern pointed out. Gender-neutral jackalope.
Yes.
I just want to say that again for any of the new people who watch the show. It used to be our warm-up phrase before we would record.
Gender-neutral jackalope.
Gender-neutral jackalope. We just want to keep that present in your minds for when the t-shirts start rolling out. But back to the Would You Rather.
Gender-neutral jackalope. It's because you can't tell
What gender our jackalope?
the jackalope is. Because that part's on the other side of the wall.
Yes.
And we don't like to look back there. We have no idea what's happened in the last 3 seasons.
Granddad is a gender-neutral jackalope.
Mm-hmm.
That is all.
Moving on. Okay, so today's Would You Rather is, would you rather be an immortal robot, but limited to, like, the body? Okay, you can't download your consciousness anywhere.
Sure.
Or be an immortal AI system that you can digitally create anything in your, like, computer world. So no body, you're just stuck in, like, cyberspace. But you can kind of create anything.
Yeah. That would be like a robot samurai thing in like this post-apocalyptic wasteland, which would be pretty freaking cool.
I would personally, I think I would rather be the robot. I would. It's the real world, and I get to physically move around, in it. I think if you could digitally create anything and go anywhere at any time, there's no fun anymore.
But yeah, like, I mean, if you can create anything and do anything, because I was thinking, like, well, I could go into the AI program and then create a robot body in a post-apocalyptic world for me to run around in. But it's not going to be real. There's no stakes. Like, if someone attacks me, it's just another part of the program that I'm controlling. And so if I beat up a bunch of bandits in, like, the middle of a desert, it's not like I'm a good fighter. It's just they're not going to win.
Yeah, if you up their level to, like, level 10 fighting skills, and they start beating you, you're like, all right, gone, and just one of you left. I can beat that one.
Yeah.
It's like, barely fun at all.
I'd rather be kind of like a robot cowboy, ranger, samurai sort of thing. Like, I would wear, like, clothes. I wouldn't just be
astronaut, ballerina,
fireman. No. I'm just thinking of, like, desert wasteland, like Mad Max.
Okay.
Like Mad Max smashed with Book of Eli, and then I'm a robot that's walking around that looks like something from Chappie.
I just love the whole Mad Max meshed with Book of Eli.
Yeah, and then
that's hilarious.
Yeah, and then I've got like the hooded cloak thing over and like this clothes and a sword on my back. So if you see me from behind and you're like trying to approach me to attack me, I just look like a person.
Yeah.
But then I'll like spin around and my hood will like fall back and you'll see that I'm a robot.
Yeah. And you'll just hear that like
yeah. Oh,
and then you'll fall apart into 5 pieces.
It'd be so cool. I'm doing that. I'm the robot.
Yeah, same robot.
Yeah.
I think it's definitely a better decision.
Yeah.
Way more fun.
Yeah. There we go, guys. We found out that whether you're a walking phoenix or a walking phoenix or any person, really, it's fine for you to fall in love with an AI system, especially if they have the smooth, sultry voice of Scarlett Johansson.
That's true. That helps a lot.
Also, we found out that we would both like to be robots. Between that and being an AI system. I'm still good with being a human for now. But honestly, if I'm about to die, go ahead and transfer me over. I'm cool with that.
Yeah, I'm fine with that too.
Yeah.
So you start that upload.
So if you guys like today's episode, there's a lot of stuff out there that we've talked about that you might also find interesting. I know I'm a little biased since I make the show, but they're all basically the best thing you could ever see. So go check them out.
Well, I'm not biased. They are the best thing I've ever seen. But before you do that, make sure you comment, like, and push the subscribe button so you don't miss out on future episodes.
Yep, and update your partner software to include salsa dancing.
Ring the notification bell.
Pre-order Apple's new robot device, the iRobot.
And remember that while a hard drive is great, some robot bodies are just fine with a floppy disk. And as always,
IKAGA.
Yeah!